Hey everybody, it's Steve. I hope you're having a good weekend. It's Sunday evening and I just got home from playing with the family and I decided to do a quick little update on Gala Games. There hasn't been as much updates going on. That's why I haven't been talking about them quite as much as usual. Just so you know, we'll go ahead and load up some stuff. One more second. Sorry. I just want to go here. Okay. Got one more slide ready for you. Um, so anybody who doesn't know Gala Games, I do videos on them every once in a while. I've done a few guides. I showed you here how to do a wine town, and I've showed people how to play the game and start the game. Those videos seem pretty popular. Gala Games lives on the Ethereum network. It's an NFT game. They're launching a whole set of games, and so we're just going to be kind of talking about some of the updates that are going on. So first, I'll just bring over this little quick slide to show you. So these are the current games that they have. So you can play Townstar. Townstar is basically like Farmville, and it's what I'm going to show you a quick look at and give you some strategy for right after we go over Gala Games. Then they have Mirandus. Mirandus is coming. It's going to kind of be a mix between, say, World of Warcraft and Minecraft, because it has that blocky feel to it. They talk about how that blocky feel allows them to have a simpler time building the game, but still trying to make it much, much more like a real MMORPG. Their next game coming out is a game called Fortified, and they've also hinted at the fact that they have upwards of 4 to 5 more games coming out in the near future. Now, the exciting thing about that is that all these games live on the same platform. All of them allow you to win the Gala Games crystals, and all of them allow you to buy NFTs that do really cool things in the games. And some of these items will do things in every single game, and they'll just slightly change that game, that item, when you put it into the new game. So that's why, even though you might be earning NFTs now in Townstar and thinking like, well, what am I going to do with a Townstar NFT? They have hinted at the fact that you'll be able to use it in Mirandus. It'll just do something else. I don't know if that'll apply to all of their NFTs, and until that actually happens, I can't guarantee it will. But it's one of the things I've heard them talk about wanting to do in their different AMAs. I haven't caught the last few AMAs. I'm going to try to get back into doing that with Gala Games. I've just been so busy making other content, as you guys have probably seen if you've been following. I've been putting out a video a day covering a lot of different projects I'm finding on Binance that are pretty exciting, and I'm having fun over there on that chain yield farming and getting into the NFT stuff that's building there. It's a lot cheaper to mess around there, and I've earned some pretty good returns doing that stuff. So hopefully you're checking out these videos if you're following me, because I really hope all of you are doing as well as I've been doing recently in the crypto markets. So I'll give you a link to their Medium. So this was their last kind of update on Mirandus. It was a really simple one. They just talked about how they did like a change in the programming of the game. They're really showing you like this is how it would have looked before, but they made some changes and now it looks more like this. And what they're trying to create is a world where even though two buildings might be the exact same building, when you look at them side by side, they're going to be slightly different. They're really trying to give that real world feel where when you fight three wolves, they're going to look a little bit different. When you see three houses next to each other that are all homesteads, all built up the same, there's going to be some color variance in them. There's going to be some little things that are different, so that the world looks more like your real neighborhood where all of the blue houses don't exactly look the same. So that's kind of exciting. And then if we go ahead and back out here to more of their other updates, they did another update here about how their founder nodes are not necessarily considered to be investments. They don't expect the Gala token to necessarily be a token that goes up in value a lot, because it's used to purchase NFTs in the store. And so, and it's going to be earnable in every single game. So it's really a way for players to earn tokens to buy NFTs, not to earn tokens to speculate for the future. And that's just something you should know about this game. If you get into buying a founder's node, there is a chance that you'll be able to resell it later on because of the structure that they have, where every time they sell 100 of these nodes, they raise the price by $100. So eventually in the future, nodes are going to be really expensive. And if somebody who becomes a fan of the series and wants to buy one, you'll be able to resell your node. But none of that is live yet, and none of that is working yet. And the nodes really, they let you get Gala coins, but not very much compared to how much they cost. And then they let you get NFTs dropped to you. those could be very, very valuable depending on the popularity of the game, or they could just be kind of valuable. But the nodes are getting very, very expensive at this point. So this just kind of talks about, like, if you're buying one of these nodes, you have to be somebody who's going to be into this ecosystem and playing this ecosystem and really just wanting to be part of the ecosystem, not somebody trying to make a quick buck. And they also talk about some partnerships they've got. They did a university partnership. It's really good to see blockchain companies doing this kind of stuff and trying to drive education to other people that are into this games and into blockchain, because we do need, more people to learn how to be developers. I've thought about trying to learn it, but I'm a little bit older. I don't know if I can financially. I have to keep doing my own work, and then I'm trying to keep up with my YouTube channel. So maybe if the YouTube channel gets big enough and I don't have to work my other job, then I can start looking into learning how to program on the blockchain, because it sounds fun and interesting. And I have a bit of a tech background, just not more in administration of systems as opposed to building systems, with a little tiny bit of coding, but not enough to get into serious development. They talk about that they still do have the partnership coming out with the Flare network. The Flare network is still a work in progress, but eventually our NFTs will be able to be issued across to the Flare network. I think they were hoping that this would happen quicker than it's happened. So they also recently announced a team up with Matic and Polygon, which means we may be able to put our NFTs onto a layer 2 network. Once you can see these NFTs get into layer 2s and layer 2s or onto Flare, I think you're going to see more of a vibrant marketplace come out for Gala Games. The reason why is because some of the items that you can win in this game are little itty bitty pieces that would be used to build a robot. So let me just show you that really quick. See this little guy. So if you wanted to build this little guy, let me go to visit the store of Townstar, and I want to build myself a farm bot. There'll only be 1,000 farm bots built, but you need 2 of these, 1 of these, 1 of these, and then you come down here and you talk about you got to get 4 of these, 5 of these, 8 of these things, 200 washers. Imagine getting 200 washers, like even 20 at a time, 10 transactions on Ethereum of anywhere from 20 to 30 bucks, maybe 15 or 12 if you're lucky. You're still talking about $120 just to claim all your washers and purchase them. This is why the new network is going to start to open up a whole new marketplace for the world of Gala Games. So that's just something that we're excited. We're going to see who's the first one to get that going, when we finally can start to issue some of our NFTs. I know myself, I have a whole bunch of these washers and things that I won, and I just never claimed them because they're not worth more than the gas that they're claimable. Maybe one of them is worth a tiny bit more, but why do I want to pay $20 to claim a $30 NFT so I can sell it for $30 and only make 10? And it's like, boy, I won a $30 prize and I only got $10 out of it. That was a bummer. I'd rather get the full $30. So I'm waiting for the Flare network before I claim any of those items. I've only been claiming the bots that are usable at these prices because they give you an advantage in the game, so it's worth it. So that's just something to know if you're playing the game. Going ahead and claiming your items is expensive. Claiming other things are expensive, and I just want to let you know that. So that kind of is it for the updates. They don't have... they have one more here. I don't know if you've heard of Wasder or not. It's supposed to be a new platform for social gaming and for gamers to use to be social. So it's kind of like a replacement for like TeamSpeak, but it's supposedly better. I signed up for it, but I haven't spent enough time on it. Maybe I'll do a video on it, but I just don't really play games as much as I used to. At least not the kind of games that they would use those for. If you like physical collectibles, they're selling 100 of these, and I have no idea if they're sold out, so you'd have to come check. But basically, they do these combos with Brave where they do these crystals with their NFTs printed in them, and then they come with a QR code to get something. So one of the things it's getting is 100 of the pickaxes, which are very, very rare, are going to be included inside these things. So only 1,000 bots will be built, so 10% of the pickaxes only can be got if you bought this. I don't know enough about that to really get into it right now, and I want to kind of wrap this video up with a quick look at my town and just talking to you a little bit about the game. and then we'll just wrap it up because we are reaching that 10-minute mark and I don't want to go too much past there. Trying to make my videos a little bit shorter. I want to let you know, let me know if you guys appreciate that or if you don't. So this is a quick look at a Town Star wine town. Now, I'm not at a high rank because I only played for 2 days. I'm at rank 411. I have 125,000 points. So if you've been playing this game and you can't get 125,000 points, then you're not very good. No, I'm just joking. You just need to keep on learning and learning how to do it. So the reason I wanted to show this town is because last time my wine town was built in a forest and it wasn't built next to an ocean or on a desert. So I had a really problem building the sand mines. So see, as you can see here, these sand mines build in 20 seconds. Last time in my last wine town, I had about 20 or 30 of these, and this one I only have 2. I could have 2 more if I really needed them, but 2 is making me more than enough to have lots of wine boilers and barrels. I also only played 1 town this week because I was only playing for a couple days, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to compete, so I didn't try to push 2 towns and play 2 people. I just kind of wanted to give you one more example and talk a little bit more about overall what the wine town allows you to do. And so the wine town is really your chance as a new player to compete with the players who are making cakes and who are bakeries and have all the bots. Because as you'll see, I have my little sugar bot right here, but he's not doing anything. And I have my legendary wheat NFT, but I'm not even using that. And I have my little salty bot, but I'm not using him. So these are bots that would help me if I was building a cake town. And I'm actually going to make a cake town next time I play this game for a full week because I haven't made a cake town since I got my salty bot. And I want to see if my combo of the legendary tower with the 2 little bots helping out can help me compete for like one of those topper spots in the league. I know I won't compete overall because I don't have a team, and the top spots are taken by teams that work together to get one guy a really high score, and then I believe they share the rewards. Makes sense because you can do that in this game. I would probably look to join one of those teams, but I'm not really somebody who is dedicated enough. I take a lot of weeks off playing this. But I wanted to show you, so this is a basic format that I found that I think builds a pretty good area for building grapes. So you do 2 pretty long rows of water. You can do these rows as long as you are comfortable on your map doing it. I ended up going, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could have cut it down to 5 and had a little bit more room for buildings over here, but I knew this town wasn't going to get fully developed in 2 days. As you can see, I haven't even started upgrading these guys to like faster tree pickers or anything like that. But this allows you to have these spots here to build oak. These are 5 water spots on the very edge. They're actually more because I threw these right here. But even on this side, when you do this, this is a 5-spot oak. And this one could be oak, but I'm doing fine on oak, so I don't need any more oak yet. I wanted to show you again. So this would be my setup, and I'll zoom in on this, for your mountains with your mining. So you do a water. So let me turn here. So your mountain spot goes here. That's your mine. Then you do a road. Then you do a blank spot, and then you do a water. From the water, you do water shots on both sides, and that lets you pop a refinery eventually right here. Now, this creates you a refinery that will have 6 energy, and you can just switch it back and forth from making gas and petroleum, and you don't need a second refinery. You could put a second refinery right here if you wanted to and have one making gas and one making petroleum, and then you would never run out, but you don't really need to do that, so you might as well save this square to do something else with later on. I don't know what I would put here later on except for maybe one more lumber mill. As you can see, you do need a lot of lumber mills. I have 2 making oak, and I have 4 making lumber, and I turn the 4th lumber one off sometimes if I build up too much lumber and I don't have any wood, and I let the wood build back up, and then I turn it back on. That's the only kind of thing you have to watch when you build a wine town. That's one of the nice things, because you'll notice I only have 1 silo. I only have 1 crop out here, and that's the wine grapes that are being grown, and then trees. So it's a much easier thing to do. I have no animals on the board. You don't have to worry about feed or anything like that. So how do you get a town to this quick in about a day of playing the game? So the way that you have to look at this, and first I'm going to show you my location that I picked. So I picked this one right here because it was a plain next to a mountain. If you do a plain next to a mountain, then what you have to do is early on in the game, you're looking to build 1 windmill that'll make you flour, because that'll just be the easiest thing to make. And then you're going to build one more windmill that can make flour far enough away from the first windmill that they both build it fast. It's going to take you a little bit longer than it takes me, but that should be all you need, is the two windmills making flour, to allow you to save up enough money to then, if you're on a plains, build a chicken. The reason why you're going to build the chicken early on is because the chicken will just go out and he'll eat all of this free pasture that's all over the plains. And it'll create you a solid amount of eggs coming in that you can sell. Then you sell eggs and flour until you get enough money to build your gas area. Your gas area should be built right over here in this corner by the mountain. And luckily, if you're in a plains, that shouldn't be too difficult because there are not a lot of trees. Now, if you decide to start yourself in a forest, it's going to be a lot harder. But what you can do in a forest that you can't do in a plains is you can sell your lakes. Not all of your lakes. Take a look at where they are at and then pick about 4 to 5 of them to sell. That'll allow you to build your second windmill a lot quicker. And that'll get you sped up and making things quicker. But then the end of the game is going to be slower for you in a forest, because trees are going to be all over the place and you're going to have to clear them out at $15,000 per tree. And that's going to be a real bummer. So in this town, basically, I originally had a couple windmills, like one here and one over here. And I was able to use my legendary wheat stand to make them make wheat really fast. I put a chicken like up here near some water. Now, one of the things that you're going to have trouble in the plains doing is trees. Trees are going to be really, really hard, or seem hard. So how do you avoid trees being hard? You work out a spot where you can grow your plants for free without having to water them, and then you go ahead and plant trees near as much water as you can, but with watering things next to them in the very beginning, and let your farmhand water the trees, because trees are going to be your biggest problem on the plains. Now eventually you're going to be able to build, once you've been able to build 3, now you have to be able to build 4 waters. I'm lucky. I do have an advantage. These are the one items that if you can get for this game that are worth investing in, are these little fountains, because with this one right here that gives out 3 water, I can do 1, 2, 3, and technically I can then grow trees in this first spot without another water. Normally 3 of these would only give 6 water and the tree wouldn't grow. I need 1 more, but without needing that 1 more of 4. See, like here on these ones, these 4, they can only grow trees to here, are 7, and then out here is 5. Well, if I had like this 3 one here, technically, I probably could grow a tree right here, a regular tree, but I'm just growing an oak tree because I want to. So we're going to end it right there. We've reached that 17-minute mark. I'll throw a time stop in here to see if people want to come and see the wine town. But yeah, that's basically, this is, as you can see, I do this one here, then I pop a water here and a water here, and it lets you have grapes in all of this area back here, and it lets you have grapes down this row here. I'm starting to think perhaps one of the things I could have done for this setup that would make my town a little bit better, but I didn't catch it until just now, is I should have thrown these water guys on this side, because these grapes grow slow because they're close enough to the ocean that the salt is slowing them down a little. But my water producers would make water just as fast over here. They'd have a little bit longer of a run, so I'd maybe want to have 5 waters over here and then put grapes here and here, because they would be faster growing grapes. So even though it'd be 4 grapes over here compared to 5 grapes over here gone, these ones would grow so much faster over here that they'd produce more grapes. 4 growing quicker over 5 growing slow would end up making probably, I don't know, about 3 more grapes per time period. So I might change that out with my last 4 hours. It won't take me too long to do. But I'm going to go ahead and end the video there. Hope you got a good little look at kind of like how you would build a nice little area. Obviously, just to break this down, the first thing you build is the refinery, because it doesn't need any of this water or this or that to be able to make gas. You're going to start off by having this here, you're going to throw one water person up near wherever your lake thing is to make you water to help you make gas. And then you're going to throw 2 to 3 windmills, not windmills, oh God, what are they called? Wind turbines. You're gonna spread them out here, and wind turbines have to be at least 3 spots in between them. So I could put one here and here, and then they would go fast. If they're closer than that to each other, just like windmills, they slow each other down. So you're gonna want to sit those over here in this corner here, and then at the end of the game, when you're ready to start getting into wine and you need to get silica, you're gonna set up this exact setup here. Except for if you don't want to stick this one in the middle of the road. I built this out so I'd be able to build a lot more of these. I didn't realize that 2 was going to produce silica so fast that I would have a ton of bottles, a lot more than I need. And eventually maybe I would need another one. But this, I could have went water here, power plant here, silica here, and I still would have probably, and then I wouldn't have had this out here. But by putting it here, it allows me to put silica here and here, here and here, here and here, or like here and here. Now, obviously I have to blow up some roads and I wouldn't be able to have this cabin here and stuff. But my point is you could figure out a way to put some more silica producers here and produce a whole bunch of silica. But then I would just be selling the silica. So there isn't really a point to do that because silica doesn't really sell for that much money, and then it would just be an item that's filling up your these and making them full, and then that's where your town can get stuck and not do pretty well. The real goal here is to get your town into a mode where it's making your end item. So my town is making wine right now, and I'm just chilling. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to touch it, and it will make wine. Now, what I would normally do from here is I'd be trying to be able to make more wine. So I'd be making more wineries so that I'm not having 17 grapes, 18 bottles, and 13 of these. So the main goal of this town would be to get more wineries on the board at this point. And then once I had enough wineries on the board to where I was making, I wasn't having this excess, well, then I need to start making my people move faster. So at that point, I start doing upgraded lumberjack houses to the next level. I start doing upgraded farm people, upgraded. Oh, look, I forgot. I got rid of my chicken because I didn't need it later on. So I'll go ahead and do a quick upgrade here. But this would allow me to... And I know I kind of rambled at the end here, so I'm gonna have to make sure to timestamp this one. Sorry, everybody. But the point was that once you speed everybody up and you've upgraded all of your buildings to being able to move quicker, all of a sudden, by the fact that they're grabbing resources so much faster, it makes them regrow quicker. So all of a sudden, even though before you were using all your grapes, now you won't use all your grapes. And you'll notice that all of a sudden you have extra grapes, you have extra wine bottles, you have extra everything, because everything starts to move a little bit quicker. And then also I would maybe go ahead and throw another mine here. And if you really were playing this out, you might even put one more water and power station right here to allow you to do 3 more mines. Because basically right now I'm doing two iron, 2 silica, 2 chromium, 2 lithium, 2 limestone, which is allowing me to do a pretty good production. But eventually, if I sped up my picking and making of wine, and I needed more bottles and more, if I needed more wine bottles and more iron to be able to make more oak barrels, then I would have to put basically a water here, one of these water pumps here, and a power plant right here, because the power plant here and here would then provide enough energy for these guys to be auto building without any energy. That's really the goal of all these power plants, is to make these guys not have to grab energy. They only have to grab wood and water. Wood and water, wood and water. And so that's all they're grabbing. All right, everybody, this is Steve. I'm going to say goodbye now. This will be the end of this video. Townstar ones are always a little bit longer, but it takes a little while to show off the towns and talk about this game, because this game is a serious time sink, and anybody who gets into it knows you're competing. If you want to compete at those high levels, you got to play for 5 days nonstop and really, really complete. Just give an idea what wine sells for. I'm making the cheapest wine that you make the fastest. A set of 10 sells for 400,000, but you can make these probably a way quicker than you can make anything else in the game. And if you go to the higher grade wines, they sell for like a lot more. I just, like I said, I wasn't going to play for very long, so I wanted to just be able to churn out as much points as I could. We'll see how far I get. I probably won't post this till after the day ends, so we'll see. I'm at 411. We'll see in 4 hours if I can jump myself up into like 300th place or something. All right, everybody. Bye.